Based on how I handle this
Can I
now.
say something? When you're more than 30 years in, this isn't really trouble. She
No.
might not know either. Let's be honest.
No, she knows.
She knows.
She knows.
All right. Jarrod Oxendine just joined us right now. The Ox, as they like to say. Jarrod, good afternoon to you, sir. How are you?
Hey, guys, doing awesome. Good afternoon. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, now, is he really in trouble because he doesn't know what anniversary he's on, what year it is, or is that something that you, as a fine attorney, might be able to tell a judge or a jury, hey, listen, it's not that big a deal?
You know, it's a snowball effect. So if you've been a good husbandman all year long and that's your only screw-up, I think she'll give you a pass. But, you know, if you're piling on, you know, you've just been horrible making mistakes left and right, and on top of it, you forgot the anniversary date, you are screwed.
No, I'm in good shape, brother.
He's good. It all became clear to him. As soon as I said you were coming on the show, it all became clear to him. He's not in a position. He wants to go to the lake today and not be bothered. He doesn't need any of this stuff.
But I got your number, Ox, just in case.
Yeah, man, give me a call. That one's on the house. You may need it.
Listen, I need to ask you something about when you know it might be inevitable, whether you know it or both sides know it. You do not want to get into the game of trying to hide things, correct? This idea that I've got this, nobody needs to know. I've got this, nobody needs to know. You start to play the cap shuffle. How much trouble can you actually get in if push comes to shove?
Yeah, these divorces are based on full disclosure. So if you're hiding assets, the risk you run is that if the other side finds out about it, they can come back in and reopen the proceedings and ask the judge to give that person 100%. So you may not be looking at just losing half at that point. You might lose all of it if you don't disclose. Now, there's an exception to that. If you can work out an agreement with your spouse and you haven't done discovery, so let's say she or he has not asked for proof of what all the assets are and they're just willing to settle based on the information they know, at that point, if they don't know about everything, they can't come back later and try to reopen it if it wasn't based on full disclosure. But if it's based on full disclosure and you hide, you're rolling the dice.
Let's be honest. There are times where the attorneys could muddy things up, but you don't want to do anything without an attorney to let you know, no, that's not going to pass muster, correct?
That's right, because, I mean, I could really string somebody up, right? I mean, if I've got a client who makes all the money, they have all the assets, and their spouse goes unrepresented, and they're willing to just sign on the dotted line, well, in that situation, we haven't done discovery. We haven't provided disclosure of what all the assets are. So if that person comes into my office and just signs on the dotted line and they later find out that they left a lot on the table, nothing they can do about it. So you always want to have good representation. No exception.
Hey, Jarrod, real quick, Billy's with us. He's a general manager. There are, in every sport, there's a chance that there's going to be money, whether it's a signing bonus, whether it's a new contract, everything else. How quickly do you need to know that you have a financial guy in place? I'm speaking to you as a divorce attorney. You better understand, right, when there's money involved, you better have somebody who can handle that. You might be able to steer somebody, but you want to make sure all this stuff is lined up as neatly as possible, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes I employ experts. You know, let's say we've got a business that we're dividing. Well, that business has value. So in order to come up with the value of the business, I will hire an expert that does business valuation. So you got to make sure you got everything lined up from a financial standpoint, and there's also advantages and disadvantages to the way you structure things. So very important to have some expert help on your side.
All right, Jarrod, how do people get a hold of you if the want, need, or necessity? Billy, I'm not looking at you. How do people actually get a hold of you when they have to?
Yeah, give me a call at the office. The initial consultation is free. It's completely on the house. You can reach me at 770-497-8688. Or our website is oxlawfirm.com. We'd be happy to help.
And Jarrod is a little bit different in this regard. He doesn't want it to get contentious. It doesn't do him any good in his business. Jarrod, thank you very much. Again, one more time at the phone number.
770-497-8688.